What's good, YouTube? Happy Sunday. Welcome in. Good morning. It's coffee time. Let's have a sip together, shall we? That's a good cup this morning. Well, I hope y'all have had a nice weekend. If you do have weekends off, if you work during the weekend, I hope it was uneventful and stress-free for you. We are, hey, good morning. Welcome. Grand Rising, Kristen. How's it going? I'm going to wait for that minute mark and do my call in, and then I'm going to start with what everybody actually wants to see, which is prophecy. All right. We have hit the minute mark. Welcome in. Witches, bitches, twats, and thoughts. I'm Black Betty, and I am Karma's right hand. Welcome to the Underdog Ministry. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate each and every one of you. You guys kick ass and take names. To new subscribers, don't forget to hit the notification bell. You guys hit the thumbs up button while you are in here. Drop a comment in the comment section and tell me where you're from, what time zone you're in, what's your zodiac sign, and what's your pet peeve. What pisses you off the most, okay? Let me know. So I am going to ring that bell. I am still in my jammies, Kristen. You're still in bed. I just rolled out and I'm sitting here in my lovely little witchy nightgown. Alrighty then. So I'm going to start this morning with a Bible verse, okay? Because we have a lot of people that are very sensitive to the fact that this really is not an evil thing. Cartomancy is the ability to tell the future or divination with cards. Bibliomancy is the ability to do it with the book, aka the Bible. 2:22 on the clock. So let's open up to the section that I have chosen to speak on today. And we're going to read Proverbs chapter 3, verse 27 through 35. Do not withhold good from those who deserve it when it's in your power to help them. If you can help your neighbor now, don't say, come back tomorrow and then I'll help you. Don't plot harm against your neighbor, for those who live nearby trust you. Don't pick a fight without reason when no one has done you harm. Don't envy violent people or copy their ways. Such wicked people are detestable to the Lord, but he offers his friendship to the godly. The Lord curses the house of the wicked, but he blesses the home of the upright. The Lord mocks the mockers, but is gracious to the humble. The wise inherit honor, but fools are put to shame. And that is our verse for today. You guys, I'm going to shake the dice up and we're going to get loud. You work doubles all weekend? I'm sorry that you had to do that. I bet you will be grateful that you did it for whenever you get your paycheck. Hopefully it made a difference for your being able to move up and out, girl. All right, I'm going to shake it up. You guys, headphone warning. Oh, we had one go way far over there. Alrighty, let's see what we've got. I see draw. D-R-A-W. Draw. Win, lose, or draw. Luck of the draw. Somebody might draw as a hobby. Lego. Lego my ego. Legos. Something about Legos. Somebody might step on a Lego this morning, and that's going to be painful. Land. I'm getting from draw and land that somebody might be drawing up property lines, like some sort of assessor's map. of a piece of property. Damn, I'm one letter away from furniture, but I don't have the E. Shin. Shin. Somebody's going to get kicked in the shins. Somebody might have shin splints from running. All right, we've got a couple more people in here. Good morning, Ashley. How you doing? Welcome in. Tone. Somebody needs to change their tone. Like, watch their tone when they speak to somebody. Somebody might have big britches and think that they're brave and, like, raise their voice to somebody. Hay, hay, like you feed animals. Or you, like Timothy hay for rabbits. Somebody might farm hay. Somebody might have to stack bales of hay for their animals. It's getting to be close to winter where you get a bunch before it gets too cold. Mane, like a horse's mane. Okay, so somebody might need to get hay for their horses. Somebody might also call their hair their mane, like their unicorn mane. I don't know why I'm getting that. Finch, like the bird, or like the character from, oh God, was it American Pie? I don't remember the name of the damn movie. Stifler and Finch. Help me out, Kristen. Who is it? Hello. We've got Michelle Bruce in here, and we've got Amanda Maria Morales. Hello, hello. This old helmet. How's it going? What did you just say? Can almost always tell when they don't use real dinosaurs in movies. I know, man. The special effects are just cheesy, aren't they? Just a tad bit. T-A-D. T-A-D. That could be somebody's name as well. That used to be a character on One Life to Live, was Tad. I don't know why that even came to mind. We got the letter Z as the last dice out. I'm not going to use it. And we're going to go straight into tarot. I'm not pulling out of that last little bit of the basket this morning because it's too early for that shit. Hopefully we're going to get an uplifting, positive message for Sunday and not some skeezy drama. That's for the evening readings. All right. So I am going to pull an overall energy. And the words that came out of the dice are draw, Lego, land, shin, tone, hay, tad, mane, and finch. And mane is spelled M-A-N-E, not M-A-I-N-E. It's not the state, it's the horse's mane. Okay, overall energy for this reading, please and thank you for the collective. The sun. Didn't I say I wanted to pull on some happy, positive energy? Some uplifting energy? There we go. So, we got something positive. I'm just going to call it that. I'm just going to say positive energy is in the building. Okay? Positive energy is in the building. Let's get to it. Tell me about any of these words and tell me about this happy energy. Tell me about the sun, please and thank you. Happiness, joy, contentment, celebration. Okay. Ace of Pentacles in the reverse and Four of Swords in the reverse. Wow. So this is a message of advice for somebody, and somebody's going to feel real called out real fast here. And it's not a negative thing. Even though these cards are in the reverse, if you want happiness, nobody's going to hand it to you. Nobody's going to tell you to go take a rest or take a break. Nobody's going to give it to you. It's something you have got to give to yourself. Happiness is not something that somebody else gives you. It's not something that you'll get later once everything is calmed down. It's not something that once life is peaceful, you will have. Happiness is a choice. Queen of Cups in the reverse. So is discontentment. You set the tone for your perception. You set the tone for your day. Knight of Wands in the reverse. There's a need to slow down. There's a need to not be so reckless. There's a need to not choose things that hurt you down the road. You know that you need a lot of sleep because you have a big day coming up, but instead you choose to go out all night to the bar and wonder why your performance at that big event the next day is lacking. Why you're so uncomfortable, why you feel miserable, why you feel sick and you can't enjoy yourself at this big event. Nobody's going to tell you to take a rest. Nobody's going to tell you to go to bed. Nobody's going to tell you to eat healthy foods, drink your water, brush your teeth, have a bedtime. Nobody's going to tell you that in order to be happy, you have to regulate yourself. You have to set the tone for your day, and you can choose whether it's going to be discontentment or happiness. And there's a measure of needing to temper responses. Three of Pentacles. I think that there is somebody that's really working on themselves. They're really working on their life. They're really trying to build here. But part of what they're looking for is for it to be handed to them, for somebody to be given permission to rest, given permission to relax, given permission to enjoy. And waiting for that permission is creating the tone of discontentment. Somebody's working on it, though. Judgment in reverse. Somebody's not their own worst critic. I don't think anybody outside of this person is judging them. I think this is internal. Whoever you are, you don't need permission to rest. The body needs it. The same way a battery that is rechargeable needs to be plugged in every once in a while, the same way our phones run dead, the same way gas tanks go empty and need to be refilled, the same way your stomach grumbles when you haven't eaten in a few hours. You need to understand your rest is part of a refilling for yourself. Three of Swords in the reverse. You have to, like I said, you're your own worst critic and you have to forgive yourself. You're stubborn. I don't know how else to put this. You're your own worst critic. You beat yourself. This is self-flagellation, not giving yourself rest. This is punishment. This is self-masochism. This is somebody that is wanting happiness so bad, they're punishing themselves because they don't feel they deserve it. They're working on it, but they're stubborn. This is somebody who sets the tone for their own day, and it's discontentment every single day. They're just upset. They choose to be critical. They choose to be detail oriented. They choose to focus on the small shit instead of the bigger picture. This is like somebody's trying to micromanage themselves and it's just not panning out well for their emotions, I'm going to say. Their self-image, their self-esteem. Okay, we've got official person. Okay, this person evidently has a reputation to uphold. People look at them a certain way. They've got a title. They've got some sort of, I don't know. It's like, I'll use this in my own personal example. You're a mom. You're a parent, okay? Your kids don't know that you don't have every answer under the sun when they're little. You're just the official. You're the last answer on things. You're where all the information comes from. This person here doesn't understand that they are the one that determines where all their fun comes from. They're the ones that determine what the structure of their life is. They're the ones that, I don't know, it's like somebody has got this person thinking they have to this person's in their dress uniform. Okay, that means that you are shined, you are polished, you don't have lint on you, you don't have a hair out of place. This is somebody who is seeking perfection because of their position. And they think that nobody can see them not have an answer, not fail, not fall, not falter. Okay? Somebody's stressing themselves out, not allowing themselves any room to be human. Main male. Okay, so this is somebody that is really, really, really concerned with the way they're perceived by the outside world. They can't make a mistake, and their fear of being seen as making a mistake is hindering part of this happiness. Look, kids are messy, right? Happy pets are messy, right? Visualize a golden retriever who finds a mud puddle and goes all out. They're coated. They painted themselves in mud. That dog is so happy. Happier than a pig in shit. But they're messy. They don't care who sees them be messy. They enjoy the shit out of themselves being messy. They got, look at my mess. There's no walk of shame with a dog covered in mud. They're like, fuck yeah, I had fun doing it too. Give me a bath now. Help me clean it up. This person here doesn't want to get like dirty. They don't want their reputation to be soiled. They don't want any lingering things, lint on them. This person might possibly have an OCD thing with their appearance. And I'm not calling that out of character. That's not just saying random OCD. Like they might be clinically, like they have the exact same routine, exact same structure, every single step. Okay? They might wear the exact same brand of clothes in uniform every day, the exact same color of jeans and shoes and socks and t-shirt. This person might wear the same thing. It might be part of their uniform. They might like be like pressed, like creases, ironing their clothes, steaming the wrinkles out, dress shirts, buttoned down, but it's the exact same thing every day. This person has a uniform of some sort, and it's part of their pride. We've got despair. If anybody sees this person out of their I'm going to say their man makeup, okay? It's not like somebody's actually putting on cover up and mascara and shit, but their uniform. If anybody sees this person out of their button down appearance, it sends them. They don't, I think this person might be in a financial crunch and they don't want people to know, so they keep their appearance super tight. Okay? Maybe they're running out of funds. Maybe they're really stressed out. And what they gotta do is fucking rest. This person here, they don't want their status to decrease. This is somebody who thinks if they had to take, say, a janitorial job or a fast food job or any kind of service work whatsoever, this person would be mortified to be seen in those job positions because they are so used to being in this elevated, buttoned up, clean pressed position. This person might have to work with their hands and they're embarrassed about it. Bad health. I think this person might have to do a job they don't want to do based on a health condition that they have. And they're embarrassed. They feel, what's the word I'm looking for? Mortified. They're mortified with the fact that they are no longer somebody with a, in their mind, having to take this lower position or whatever for their health has got them feeling discontent. This is they're just, the despair and mortification is embarrassment because they're no longer official. They're no longer like the top of the scene of something or the top of a business or top of an industry or a group. This person's no longer in the hierarchy. And they just want happiness. They're super despondent. Nobody's going to give you permission to do what's the right thing for you. If you know your body needs rest, nobody's going to say, here, go take a nap. If you're grouchy, if you're discontent with everything about your life, nobody's going to come rescue you and say, hey, this is what's going to work for you. You don't want people to judge you. You don't want to feel your feelings. You're being stubborn about any direction that's being given to you. You want to be seen as like top brass, polished, hierarchy up here in the top, in the main event, okay? And for whatever reason, somebody is not the main event. They are where they are because they've got some sort of bad health and they just want to be happy. Well, it's time to draw a line in the sand. Okay, somebody sets the tone for their own day, and their tone that they're setting is discontent because they keep choosing wherever they're at that's making them miserable. Or maybe it's their health that's making them miserable. Maybe it's both. We've got go within, healing, separation, and surrender, dark night of the soul. So tough advice. Tough advice here. Somebody's health makes them have to do a certain type of work. They're no longer in a hierarchy where they were top dog. Okay? They're no longer the main event. And this person's very upset about that, but they really are being told to go find their own value deep within what it is that they really want. Nobody's going to give you a rest. You need to go within, and you're going to have to be like really confronting some uncomfortable feelings. Going to have to admit that this despair is because you're not somebody's it's a midlife crisis. I'm just going to call it that. This person is not as virile as they used to be. They're not a contender anymore. This person's going through it. Their health is affected, they're miserable, and what's going on is they're being forced to confront how they feel about that decline. Okay, this person's stubborn. They don't want to talk about their feelings. Okay? The situation here, they know that they set the tone for their own day. They want ultimate happiness is the goal. They just want to be fucking happy. It's not even like this person has this specific thing will make me happy. They're in despair because all they want is some peace, some relief, some joy, and some happiness in their life, but nobody's going to give it to them. Nobody's going to be like, here, fucker, I'm going to force feed you some fucking joy. Choke on that shit. Nobody in the world is going to do that. Nobody's going to say, oh, it seems like you're tired. Maybe you should go take a nap. Here, let me tuck you in. Okay? You have to do that shit for yourself. If you realize, fuck, I'm cranky, I really just want a nap, go take a nap. If you're hangry, go get a Snicker bar. Okay? Like, somebody's really trying to work on themselves and get themselves out of some sort of hole, but they're trying to approach things with alpha dog mentality instead of being in neutrality. Okay? Just being. This person is not okay with existing. They're miserable in their existence, so they're having an existential midlife crisis. Dark night of the soul. Divine order, practice patience, and pathway to true love, take me home. Look, good sir, whoever you are out there, this is in the grand design of things. This is forcing you to learn how to sit in your existence instead of plowing through it towards a future. It's teaching you how to be present in the moment. And then once you find that, you're going to find this happiness that you want. That true love that you're seeking is your own. It really is. Whitney Houston was not lying when she called it the greatest love of all. I'm not even being facetious. I'm not being cheeky. I'm not being cheesy or offhand with that. Somebody here needs to understand they don't need to be shiny, buttoned up, lint-free, pressed, no wrinkles, nothing, never showing any kind of weakness whatsoever. This has driven this person into some sort of illness. And illness has got them doing something that they don't want to do. They're in despair. They're desperate to be happy. Desperate to be happy. Since this is for a masculine, I'm going to pull out the, oh God, I forgot the name of this shit already. This is the Greek mythology oracle deck. This person here, all they want is happiness. That's their focus. But their focus is, I'm never happy. I'm never going to be happy. happiness is always just out of my reach. I'll be happy when. They're setting that tone. And I don't think they like the fact that they're responsible for it. That's that Knight of Wands energy in the reverse. They don't want to be responsible for their own feelings, especially not the angry ones. Advice for this masculine. Victory. Okay, you seem to have some sort of finish line in mind. What you see as success, something that you vision for yourself as winner, winner, chicken dinner, okay? I think that perception is what's got you in despair. I had to finish that before it got too cold because that was lukewarm and untasty. Ooh. So we've got fortune. Look, victory right into fortune. You're favored, and you know this. The grand design of things is forcing you into a position where you realize the achievements never made you happy. You kept saying, I'll be happy when. I'll be proud of myself when. There's somebody over here pressed with accolades, medals, ribbons, awards, accomplishments, achievements. Somebody who measures their value by how much they can achieve. I'm speaking to this because I'm kind of like that myself. So I can understand where this person is coming from. They have a perceived goal in mind, a vision of where their life would be if they're successful. I'll be happy when I get to this point. Happiness is not a destination. This person is really focused on later, when they're being forced to figure out the present right now. Sit in it right now. Surrender right now. Somebody needs to appreciate the right now. Be happy right now. Transition. So this is the kind of advice that sounds, again, super cheesy, but here's this person in turbulent seas, all alone, and they're not sinking because the water's not getting into the boat. Okay? Metaphorically speaking, you're in the midst of turbulence, but you need to recognize in the present, you're not sinking. You're still getting through this choppy water. Even if you're not buttoned down, picture perfect, pressed and wrinkle free. How can you be pressed and wrinkle free when you're in the midst of something like this, but you're not sinking? Don't sink into the pit of despair. You need, I'm hearing the sunken place. Somebody needs to realize how blessed and fortunate they already are. They've already reached so many goals. They've already won so many accolades and achievements. They already should have the happiness. They already should have that pride in their self. I know who I am. I'm a stand-up person. I do this, I do that, and the other thing. This person here has had their some officiality kind of drained out of them because of this illness or whatever kind of sickness, or the sickness has been caused by like stress, draining this person. Nobody's going to give this person permission to rest. When you're in the military, your commander, your sergeant, your officer does not tell you, oh, you look a little tired, son. Let me go tuck you into the barracks real quick. Permission for relief, sir. Permission to rest, sir, ma'am. Permission granted, permission denied. This individual is waiting to be given permission, but they are the official in their life. This person needs to sit with themselves in the present and recognize that their illness, their stress, their poor health, their despair, all of the sadness that they're going through is a blockage to this goal, and it's choice. They get up, they lace the shoes, they go to the same place every day that makes them fucking miserable because they have to, and they choose to have a negative spin on it. My life's being taken from me. I'm miserable here. Blah, 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 blah. That's letting the water get into the boat. Instead of thinking, all of these things I've accomplished, it's time for me to skate and sail now. Instead of thinking in that term, this person is now beating themselves up because they're no longer producing the results that provided them their mental value. So this could be somebody that is dealing with a sudden disability, and they don't know how to handle it because before they could do everything, before they were, fully capable, before they were on top of things. This is somebody who can't admit weakness. This is somebody who feels that they hold no value unless they're perfect. It's time to not let that water get in the boat. Fear in reverse. Don't let that water get in the boat. And we have faithfulness in reverse as well. Don't lose belief in yourself because you're afraid of change. You've already won. You've already achieved. You've already accomplished. You've already elevated. You've already been up here. The only thing that can make you feel down here is your own twist, your own tone on the thoughts, okay? So we need to shift that. My advice right now, I'm being told to give whoever, if you resonate heavily with this message, 10:10 on the clock. Really, Tara? If you resonate with this message, you're being told that you absolutely have to invest in things that give you pleasure. There's something that you collect. There's something that you have a hobby. There is something that might seem silly or frivolous to you, like maybe building Legos. Maybe somebody collects Lego, like the numbered collectible Lego figurines, and they build them and put them in acrylics and display them. Maybe they've got an entire room of that. Maybe somebody likes to draw. Maybe somebody likes to go ride horses. Maybe somebody likes to bird watch. Okay? You're being told to now choose things that are in your power still to choose that you enjoy. That's going to give you happiness. Nobody else is going to hand you your smile. You have to take it out of your fucking pocket and put it on your face every day. The same way you have to choose your tone to be discontent. Oh my God, my life is horrible. Or things have been rough, but today's going to be a good day. Today's going to be better. We're going to get through it. You survived the last 24 hours. You're going to survive the next. It's like one foot in front of the other, even though it's not what you planned. Okay? You cannot lose faith in yourself because you're scared of the way your life is changing. I think somebody's come into a disability transformation. You cannot, because of the way your life is changing. Look, you're fighting it, fighting it, fighting it, fighting it, fighting it, fighting it. Somebody's fighting this change. Persephone, going through the dark night of the soul. Persephone, goddess of the underworld, wife of Hades. Okay? Somebody's wrestling with a dark time. And they're holding their value based on a past standard. Nobody's telling you to lower your standards. Somebody's telling you to expand them to include your new ability of life. Okay? If you can't lift heavy furniture anymore, you're not going to be a furniture mover. And you can just maybe that made you a lot of money, but you're not going to be carrying shit upstairs anymore. And that might make you sad. But you can still go be a security guard because you're big and tough and scary. There's something that you can do, but it might not be what you intended for yourself. Nobody's going to hand you your happiness. Nobody's going to hand you your rest. Nobody is going to make you choose a positive tone for your day. That's up to you. That's up to you completely. And you can't be stubborn about it because you're only hurting yourself at this point. Only hurting yourself at this point. Final pass of cards. Final pass here. What's the number one thing this person can do to add this happiness and joy into their life daily? Realizing that happiness and what some people imagine it to be is actually, it's called excitement, and excitement is temporary. I think what this person might need to realize is that excitement is what they're chasing. And happiness is baseline. It's contentment. It's peace. It is, it's like, one size fits all, but it doesn't look the same for everybody, if that makes sense. Happiness is not, I'm smiling, laughing, joking, kikiing all the time. Happiness is a lack of drama, a lack of trauma, a lack of stress, a lack of worry, and a lack of, I'm going to say, bullshit. Happiness is when you don't have a bunch of problems. Happiness is not necessarily Disneyland smiles, okay? That's excitement. There's a difference, and I think people don't understand that. So I think this person is interpreting their lack of peaks with a deep valley when they're actually on a plateau, okay? So the final advice for this person, Judgment in reverse, again, so this energy is twice here. Quit judging yourself so harshly. Quit being so fucking hard on yourself. Quit beating yourself up, okay? Quit trying to attain what you think is perfection, because what you think is perfection is not the same for everybody else, and there is no such thing as perfection in the world. So you're holding yourself to an unattainable standard, which is part of your misery. Part of the reason why you can't be happy is because you're putting standards on yourself that you know you can never hit. Seven of Wands in the reverse. You have, it's like blackberry bushes or barbed wire or bramble around your heart. You won't take action because you're judging yourself on unattainable goals. So you won't take action on anything that you don't see getting you to that goal, but things that you need to be doing down here on this level, this plateau that you're on. You're trying to peak every single time. You're trying to have peak moments, peak, 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 which is why you're having so many valleys. The Seven of Wands in reverse, it's like you're not doing the right things for yourself. You're not protecting your energy. You're beating yourself up and you're not protecting your own energy. So you need to work on that. You need to maybe forgive yourself a little bit, and you might need to put some kinder expectations on yourself. Ten of Swords in the reverse. You might need to quit betraying your own happiness by choosing things that you know aren't attainable. And then saying, see, nothing ever works for me. If you set realistic expectations for your day, realistic expectations for your life, realistic goals for, okay, today I'm going to go watch a kennel club competition because I love dogs and it makes me happy. You've chosen a few moments of smiling. You've chosen something that makes you content, not something that gets you necessarily excited. You've done a good thing for yourself. You've chosen to go take a walk when you're angry instead of yelling. You've chosen to regulate your system in a positive way. Those are all small wins, all small victories. And this person here is so creased, pressed, can't have a single hair out of place. This is a man who literally gets manicures and gets their nails polished. Not fingernail polish, but I mean like buffed out. Like this person is meticulous with their physical appearance. And they set a standard for themselves and goals to achieve that is, it's stressing this person out so bad they've got some sort of sickness. Like nerve-related illness. And you got to quit judging yourself so harshly. Quit setting standards that you can't attain. Unrealistic standards for a life that you're living. If you make $30 an hour and you expect to wear Gucci every day, that's an unrealistic goal unless you're thrift shopping in Beverly Hills. Okay? Like somebody here might feel like they're nothing if they don't have labels, if they don't have $1 million in the bank, if they don't have a CEO position. Meanwhile, they're just as worthy if they're pushing a broom. And this person's got to get that mindset. They're discontent. They're setting the tone for their own day, their own life. They might have had a taste of authority, a taste of being the head honcho. And now this person might be in a position they don't want to be in, where they're a subordinate because they're in some sort of health crisis because of their stress levels, okay? This person needs to go easier on themselves. They need to kind of stop betraying their own best interests. And they need to maybe quit being so defensive about not being hoity-toity. It's like you can be regular and it's okay. Most people are regular. Look, the sun. Look, that's what's going to make you happy. This is how we're ending the reading. We started with the sun and we're ending with the sun. Look at this. This is how you find the happiness. By realizing it's not attached to things. It's attached to choices in the moment. Follow your bliss. This person has attached happiness to accomplishments and achievements and goals and numbers and titles and hierarchy for way too long instead of their own bliss, instead of the things that make them happy. You need to quit betraying yourself. We've got faithfulness in reverse right next to the Ten of Swords in reverse. Quit betraying yourself. Your happiness is your choice. It's your responsibility. Yours alone. Mine alone, for me. Does this person actually look happy, or do they look smug? Right? Do they look happy, or do they look smug? Do they look happy, or do they look smug? Which one's all buttoned up and shiny? Which one's barefoot in the dirt? Somebody really needs to address their nerves, their nervous system. This person might be having a nervous breakdown, a mental breakdown, some sort of stress-related illness based on their own standards they're setting for themselves that are unattainable. And it's not that they're not smart enough, not that they're not intelligent or good enough. It's that this goal or this type of expectation they're setting for themselves is not for their grand design. It's not for their divine order. Your victory is going to come when you realize that you can't let other people's opinions sink your ship. Their discontent, their unhappiness with their life. Just because you're hitting goals and other people maybe are missing goals. Maybe they're not setting the right goals for themselves and God's redirecting them. Okay? This one, you're going towards something here that God is steering you towards to get away from the fear and despair and the betraying of your own best interests. And when you stop betraying your own best interests, when you stop judging yourself so harshly, when you let your defenses down, quit betraying yourself and start choosing your bliss, that's when this happiness is going to come in. It's not going to come from an accomplishment, a title, a dollar figure in the bank, a car in the driveway, a driveway that belongs to you. It's not going to come from any of those things. It's going to come from the tone you set in your own day. You go watch birds? Do you play with Legos? Do you go draw a picture? Okay? Do you go run? Think about Forrest Gump, okay? He just had to run. He just had to get the energy out. He had no other way of dealing with the frustration that was building up inside of him or words to put to it, so he just started running. Not away from anything, not to anything. It just got the energy out. There is something here. You just have to get this energy out. There's some sort of hobby that you have that you need to channel this energy through, that's going to help lessen this despair and help you become a little bit more proud of you. For whatever reason, I'm seeing somebody flinging paint, just throwing it, and just on a big giant canvas, like somebody throwing buckets of paint and just making abstract art. It may or may not be what this person does, but you know, there's ways to channel these feelings without beating yourself up about it. Healing separation, go within. Ways to deal with what you're feeling inside, this despair that's causing this nervous system issue, okay? You need to surrender to what you actually feel and let it happen. Observe it. Ask it questions. It's here to teach you how to be present with yourself, how to love yourself, how to be content instead of chasing happy. Okay? We started with the sun and we ended with the sun. This is a personal journey for somebody, and I hope I've helped you along. I'm going to close the reading right there. All right, I appreciate each and every one of you, and so much so I'm going to go through and see who's down in the comment section. Go Ask Alice, Tara Dawn, Perfectly Broken. I didn't do the dice. It was Draw, Lego, Land, Shin, Tone, Hay, Tad, Mane, Mane, like a horse's mane, and Finch. All right, and we've got Amanda Marie. We have got Michelle Bruce. We've got our moderator, Kristen, in the building. You guys, I appreciate each and every one of you for hanging out with me, taking time with me. If you have made it through the entire reading, you guys are superstars. You kick ass and take names. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, share the videos, and you guys comment something down in the comment section. What's your birthday? What time zone are you in? Not necessarily what's your birthday, but what's your sign? What time zone you're in, what country are you watching from, and what's your pet peeve? Okay? Talk some trash down there in the comment section and leave me one of these. Okay? All right. Love you guys. And remember, if I can manage to not be a piece of shit, so the fuck can you. Black Betty out.